Hey guys, it's Elisa, not Alyssa, and today we're going to be talking about how to pronounce Italian food names. But before we do that, if you enjoy this video and you want to help support my channel to make it more possible to make more videos, feel free to subscribe to my Patreon because you will get lots of exclusive content, including a bonus video attached to this one. So we're going to have some extra words in there. So if you're interested in that, then head over to Patreon. I would appreciate it so much. Before we start though, I do have to tell you a couple of things. First, if you don't know how to pronounce your R's, I have a video on how to do that, so you can check that out and then come back here. I also have a video on how to pronounce double consonants, how to pronounce various things. So if you're having trouble with a specific sound, I might actually already have a video on that. So make sure to check that out before you continue if you do have trouble with those sounds. Here's how this is going to work. First, I'm going to give you the way that we typically pronounce it in English. Of course, there might be different ways that people pronounce this. Maybe I'll just give you the most common one. So English first, and then I'll show you the proper way to pronounce it in Italian, and I will break it down into pieces and go over the most important sounds or the things that I think people would mess up the most, or I messed up the most when I was learning. Of course, I do need to make a disclaimer. If you are just an English speaker speaking in English, you can do whatever you want. This video is for people who are learning Italian, and this is kind of difficult because, again, we use these words in English. So properly pronouncing a word in Italian that we already pronounce in English in an English way and then trying to speak in Italian, like, it's not easy to do that. So that's why I'm making this video. Okay, enough disclaimers, let's begin. The first word is this one. Now, in English, we would usually say something like, now this is very painful for me, okay, to go, because now I've been enlightened by Italian pronunciation and it pains me to say things this way, but this is how we say it. So, in English, we would say mozzarella. In Italian, on the other hand, we say mozzarella, mozzarella. As you can hear, the vowels are completely different and we have some double consonants in there. First part, in English, we say ma, so it's not ah, it's mo. Mo. Then, just like in the word pizza, that sound that we have even in the word it's, that's the sound we're using. So mozza, mozza. Now you can probably hear in the A, compared to how I said in English, I said mozza, whereas in Italian it's ah. So I say this all the time, but it's a much more tense, more precise. I think the best way to describe it is a tense sound. Italian vowels tend to sound kind of more nasally to my ear. So that's kind of an indication to give you an idea of how to pronounce it. So mozza, mozza, not mozza, mozza. Notice how there's more movement in my mouth in Italian. I might be exaggerating slightly just to show you. Mozzarella. Rella. So it's not rela, it's not one L, it's two. So as I said, I have a video on double consonants, but rella, basically your tongue has to touch the roof of your mouth to make the L sound. So all you do is you just hold it there. So instead of going la, 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 or l, because actually the Italian L is farther behind. So instead of going l, l, you're going l, you're just holding it. That's all you're doing. All you're doing is holding it for longer. So mozzarella, mozzarella. As for the double consonant on the Z's, to make that double consonant, we just have to make a little pause, almost like a glottal stop. Mozzarella, mozzarella. There's like a pause. Makes sense? Okay. Second word. I think this is probably the worst one. The way we say this word in English is bruschetta. Here's how you say it in Italian. It's bruschetta, bruschetta. Let's pay attention to some of the differences here. In English, I said bruh. Bruh. In Italian, we say bru, because bru, the U is always oo. And notice how my lips are coming out ooh. It's not ooh, where the lips kind of stay closer to the face. They have to come out like a kissy face, okay? So bru, bru. Then we have ske, because that S-C-H-E combination makes ske. So brusche, and that E, it's a closed E, okay? It's not the E, it's the E. So brusche. I'm doing a smile. Partially, it helps to kind of demonstrate my point because doing a smile on that E might help you get closer to the sound while you're practicing. Bruschetta. So again, we have double consonants. With this type of it's so hard to do this without re-explaining my double consonant video. But for the T's, you have to, it's like the Z's in mozzarella. You have to do just a little pause. So bruschetta. Because you can't hold a T, right? You can't go it's like you can't hold it, okay? It dies. So bruschetta. Bruschetta. And at the end, make sure not to do bruschetta, bruschetta. Let me know if you can hear the differences. Okay, third word. For this one, in English, we say pistachio. And we actually spell it differently. We only have one C, whereas in Italian, there are two C's. So the way to pronounce that word properly is pistacchio, pistacchio. So again, in English, we say pe. In Italian, we say pi. In English, we say sta. In Italian, we say sta. In English, we say shio. In Italian, we say chio, chio. So that CCH makes a k sound. And it's a double consonant. There are two C's, so pistacchio. So again, we need a little pause before it. Pistacchio. So when you're saying these words, I want you to really take your time. Try to say the vowels as accurately as possible, because I know a lot of people want to say it fast because they just want to do it fast, but speed will come naturally later. Precision is more important. So make sure you're really pronouncing each vowel super clearly, because again, in English, we have more vowels that sound similar to each other as opposed to the Italian ones, which are a, e, I, o, o. They're a bit more different, okay? So really take your time with it. Pistacchio, pistacchio. And that I before the O, it's kind of like the word grazie. It's not grazie. It's a half vowel. Treat it like a Y, like a Y. Pistacchio. It's not pistacchio, pistacchio. So you're just putting a little Y in it and you're focusing on the O. How's it going so far? Let me know in the comments. I want to know how you guys are feeling about this, okay? Don't lose confidence. You can do it. The next word, I have heard many pronunciations for this one. Gnocchi is probably the most accurate one I've heard, but lots of people say gnocchi, gnocchi, gnocchi. Like, I've heard everything, okay? In Italian, it's gnocchi, gnocchi. We have the GN, I do have a video on that. Gne, gne. So basically, it's like, it's not quite an N, it's like gne, 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 gne. You know, when kids make fun of each other, gne, gne, gne. So gne, gno. So basically, if you do a normal English N, it's like n, your tongue is kind of towards the front of your mouth, whereas when you do gne, it's kind of farther in the back, okay? So that's a little indication, but if you want details, I have a video on that. Gnocchi. Gnocchi. It's very similar to pistacchio in the sense that we have that CCH. So it's the same thing. Gnocchi. Gnocchi. I don't know if you can hear, I'm making like the shortest little pause right in the middle of that word. Okay, the next one we just say in the most horrendous way. In English, we say I can't even say it, it's so painful. Spaghetti bolognese. Now, the reason I say it's painful, don't get offended. Like, I used to pronounce this way. It's just that once you know the right way to do something, then you look back on how you used to do it and you're like, oh no, that sounds so bad now. But like, of course, when I'm speaking in English, I say spaghetti because it's too annoying to switch back and forth between the pronunciations. This is just for the sake of when you're speaking in Italian. In Italian, it's spaghetti, spaghetti. So just be careful. We use the flap T in English, like spaghetti, in Italian, of course, we always have the regular T, spaghetti. And their T has way less air than ours does. So be careful, not spaghetti, be careful with the air, okay? Spaghetti, spaghetti. Notice how the vowels are very tense, very tight, okay? This is what we want. So, spaghetti alla bolognese. So, alla, again with the double consonants, alla, not alla, alla. That's with one L and with the English A's. So be careful, it's not alla, alla, alla. And then bolognese. So the O's are very close. So it's not bolo, bolognese, bolognese. So that GN, again, like in gnocchi, bolognese. Bolognese. So every vowel is closed in this word. Bolognese, not bolognese. Those would be like kind of open vowels. So if we say it all together, it's spaghetti alla bolognese. Okay? You don't need to say it the speed that I said it. You can say it more slowly. The important thing is to get it accurate, as I said before. Okay, next one. I usually hear carbonara. Okay? It's not that voice crack. It's not that, like it is far, but anyway, it's not the worst one, okay? So this one is carbonara, okay? So if you take into account the things I've said so far, ka, that really open A, ka-a-a, carbonara, carbonara. So closed O, carbonara. I mean, it's really just the A's. Actually, this is a good word to practice the A's on to get that really open sound. So it depends on your level, but what a lot of you are probably saying is carbonara, It's like you're almost there, but it's not just a little bit more open, okay? Don't be afraid to like look stupid or something. I mean, you're probably alone right now anyway, so who cares? Oh my God, there's so many double consonants in these words. So the next food word is, in English, we usually say fettuccine. Again, we use the flap T, the r sound, fettuccine. Now, when there's an E at the end in Italian, it's never pronounced E, it's because that's for the I. The E at the end is always pronounced E at the end of a word. E. So, fettuccine, fettuccine. Double T and double C. So fettu, little pause before the T's. So the U, don't forget your lips have to come out. U, cine, cine. So a little pause again before the C's. Ine, ine. Then we have another pasta one. I used to always say tortellini. Tortellini. So again, we use the flap T, torta. So that's the other thing is the torta, the In Italian, it's spelled with an E. So tortellini, tortellini. So again, there's a double L and an L is a sound that you can hold. So we hold it and that's how we make the double tortellini. I was showing my boyfriend some of these words before just to see like how bad they sounded and he was like, oh, it was like his face was so pained at this one. So for this word in English, we say ricotta. Ricotta. The sounds are completely different. Again, the flap T doesn't, I mean, the sound exists in Italian. It's the R, the R, but we use it for T's or D's. So what for us is a flap T is basically the Italian R. Of course, the word starts with an R. So ricotta. So it's not co, it's not closed, it's open. Ricotta. 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 So one of the hardest things about this word is the I because we say re, e. That sound just doesn't even exist in Italian. The I in Italian is always I. So ricotta, ricotta. So be careful with ricotta. Even that is in between. Ricotta. Don't be afraid to like feel stupid when you're trying to mimic me, okay? Because that is how you get good, my friends. That is how you get good. So ricotta, not ricotta. So the next one is this word, and I have heard it pronounced prosciutto. I've also heard prosciutto, which is very interesting. Some people, if they get a bit closer, might say prosciutto. But again, it's the same problem we have with the flap T, because of course, those are the English rules, and that's obviously what we would follow if we never learned the Italian way to say it. So first thing, it's not pra, it's pro. I don't know if you could see how much tension there is in my lips. Pro. Whereas in English it would be pra. My lips are like super relaxed. Pro. I feel like they're so tense. So we have pro, then we have shu, so it's not sk. So it would have been sk if there were an H, but there is no H, so it's prosciutto. And again, remember the lips coming out on the U. Prosciutto. So again, double T's, we have to make a little pause. Prosciutto. Again, in English, prosciutto. Oh, that's really important. The O at the end, my friends, oh my goodness. Prosciutto. So that O movement, we need to eliminate it completely. Oh, prosciutto. Okay, the next one means mushrooms. And in English, we usually say something like fungi. I think we say fungi or funghi. The vowels are different. So it's funghi. Again, same thing with the U. Funghi. Not fungi. So English pronunciation, E, Italian pronunciation, E. I don't know if you can hear a difference, but there's way more tension on the Italian one. So funghi. And so GH makes G, okay? If it were G, then there would be no H. There would just be GI. So funghi. The next one is something my grandmother used to always buy for me, and it was my favorite. Oh wait, I have to say how we say it in English first. I'm pretty sure I said mortadella? Is that what I would say? Or mortadella? Something like that. Anyway, in Italian, it's mortadella. So we have a closed O, mor. Then we have ta, so not ta. Be careful because we need to put the minimum air possible. So mortadella. So we have an open E, so it's not E, it's E. Mortadella. So again, we have double L's, so we have to hold the L's a little bit. Mortadella. So with the O, with the closed O, don't be afraid to make it feel like your lips are coming out, kind of like with the U, more. Don't be afraid to let your lips kind of come out of it because that's how you create that closed sound. Mortadella. And last word. In English, we say zucchini. Like we even spell it that way. We spell it with an I at the end. In Italian, it's different. It is not masculine. It is feminine. So it would be le. Okay, it wouldn't be I because it's a feminine word. Le zucchine. So in English, we say zucchini. That oo, that kind of relaxed U. In Italian, zu. So even the Z is different. So in English, we say zu. It's even harder in Italian. It's zu, zu. So basically, to do this Z sound, you have to pretend that you're about to do a D. So you kind of put your tongue and your mouth and everything in the position to do a D, and then you do a Z, and it makes it like closed. So it's not zu, zu, it's zu, zu, zu. Do you hear that? Like that, oh God, ow, I just like pulled my hair out of my head. How it's stronger, zu. And make sure your lips are coming out again on that U. Zucchine, kine, zucchine, not E. Okay, so zucchine. And there we go, my friends. That is how to pronounce Italian food names. These are just some of the ones that stuck out to me the most, the ones where I think our pronunciation makes me laugh. Like, it's funny, who cares? Like, everyone says things in a funny way in different languages. I think it's funny, and I think it's fun to learn, and it's fun to improve. And so I hope that you found this video useful. If there are other words you want to see in a part 2 of this video, or maybe even in Reels on Instagram, please let me know in the comments below, and I will be compiling them all. I'll be compiling the best ones and putting them on a list to make future videos. Let me know if you like these videos. Do you like these learn how to pronounce this category of words video? Because I like teaching words that we have in English but we say differently, because it's really hard to break those habits, and I think it's useful. Having said that, don't forget there is a bonus video on Patreon where I teach you some more of these words. There are a couple more, so if you would like to see that, feel free to subscribe on Patreon. It really is the best way to help support my channel, and I appreciate it so much. For any of you Italians, my podcast, my Patreon only podcast is coming, Slow English with Elisa. There is one episode on Spotify if you want an example of it. But yeah, that is back on Patreon. So I hope to see you guys there. Don't forget to follow me on my social media. Like this video, subscribe. It's very important if you ever want to see my face again, and comment and share this video with people who are learning Italian, and turn on the bell notifications. Also very important. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video soon, next Tuesday. Okay, bye.